Waiter answered a call in English in front of a millionaire woman. The next day, he was fired. He shouldn't have done this. A humble waiter in a high-end New York restaurant answered a phone call, in English, in front of a millionaire woman. For him, it was just another ordinary conversation, but for her, it was a secret that should never have been overheard. The very next day, he was fired. The crystal chandeliers glimmered softly in the elegant dining room of the Monarch, Manhattan's newest hotspot for the ultra-wealthy. Jake Miller weaved between tables with the ease of someone who's worked here long enough to be invisible. His crisp white shirt tucked in, black apron spotless, he was the quiet background, just another part of the restaurant's polished atmosphere. Most guests barely noticed him, but that night, as he brought a bottle of rare Pinot Noir to table 14, his phone buzzed. The screen lit up, his sister's name. He glanced quickly around. The table was occupied by Vivian Langford, billionaire heiress and one of the city's most powerful businesswomen. Vivian's sharp eyes caught the movement. Her perfectly manicured hand froze mid-gesture. Jake hesitated but answered, his voice low, careful. "Hey, yeah, I'm here." What he didn't realize was that Vivian had overheard every word, and what she heard changed everything. Jake Miller was no stranger to hard work. At 28, he balanced double shifts at the Monarch with night classes at community college. Born and raised in Queens, Jake was the oldest of 3 siblings. His sister Mia depended on him, especially since their mother's illness made things tough at home. The restaurant was a world apart from his modest neighborhood, a glittering palace, where wealth whispered from every corner. Vivian Langford, meanwhile, was everything Jake wasn't. Born into a life of privilege, the CEO of Langford Enterprises, a media empire spanning continents. Her power was as sharp as her tailored suits, her charm as calculated as a chess player's move. But beneath her polished exterior, rumors swirled, rumors of ruthless deals and secret enemies. That night, Jake didn't know that a simple phone call would drag him into Vivian's tangled web of power, lies, and betrayal. That evening, the restaurant hummed with soft chatter and clinking glasses, the kind of place where secrets were traded beneath the sparkle of crystal. Jake's phone vibrated again. Mia's name flashed on the screen. He slipped away to the small staff pantry to answer. "Hey, Mia," he whispered, voice tired but warm. "How's Mom?" A pause, then a shaky voice. "The hospital called. They said Mom's condition worsened. They want us to come." Jake's heart sank. Bills had piled up. No way he could afford time off. But he couldn't ignore her. Just then, the pantry door swung open. Vivian Langford stepped inside, her presence impossible to miss, even in a cramped space. Jake froze. Vivian's eyes locked on his phone. "Who's on the line?" she asked, voice low but edged with something unreadable. Jake hesitated but answered, "My sister. It's about my mom." Vivian's gaze hardened. "You're working here, but your family is in crisis." Before Jake could respond, her phone rang. She answered, her voice smooth but sharp. "Everything depends on tonight's deal," she said quietly. "If anyone finds out about my plans, it could ruin everything." Jake's pulse quickened. He realized this wasn't just a business. Dinner. Then his phone buzzed again, an unknown number. He glanced down. The screen flashed. "We're watching." He swallowed hard. This was no ordinary night. And answering that call had just put him in the crosshairs of a dangerous game. Jake tried to steady his breath as he stepped back onto the dining floor. The polished marble gleamed under the soft golden lights, but tonight everything felt cold. Vivian's sharp gaze followed him. He knew she was watching, weighing every move. Word spread fast in the restaurant world, especially when money and power were involved. That night, as Jake refilled glasses and took orders, whispers floated from table to table about a major deal, unfolding at Vivian's side. But what Jake didn't know was that he was no longer just a waiter. He'd become a pawn. The mysterious call, the cryptic text, Vivian's hushed warnings, they pulled him deeper into a world he'd never wanted. Later, in the kitchen, Jake's manager, Carla, pulled him aside. "Jake, the boss wants a word." Her eyes were sharp but cautious. Jake's heart sank. Carla led him through a maze of back corridors to a sleek office with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. Vivian was waiting, her expression unreadable. "Jake," she began, voice calm but icy. "I know you're struggling. I see you're loyal to your family." He nodded, swallowing the lump in his throat. "But loyalty has a price, and sometimes sacrifices must be made." She slid a phone across the desk. One of his calls had been overheard. Confidential information. Business secrets. Threats. "Your phone rings again tonight," she said softly. "You'll answer it, and you'll do exactly what I say." Jake's world tilted. He wasn't just a waiter anymore. He was trapped in Vivian's game, and the stakes were higher than ever. The night was almost over when Jake's phone buzzed again. The dining room was empty now, the soft hum of the city filtering through the floor-to-ceiling windows. Jake leaned against the cold marble countertop in the staff lounge, exhausted, but something about the blocked number on his screen sent a chill down his spine. He swallowed, hard, and answered. "Jake," the voice whispered, urgent and low. "You don't know everything about Vivian Langford. That big deal she's pushing? It's just a front. A lie." Jake's pulse quickened. "What do you mean?" he asked. But the line went dead before the stranger could say another word. Confused and rattled, Jake's eyes darted toward the kitchen door. A figure slipped past, too quick to catch, but unmistakably someone who didn't want to be seen. The next morning, the city exploded with news. Vivian Langford's media empire was under federal investigation, accused of fraud, money laundering, and insider trading. Jake's stomach dropped. The phone call, the text messages, the warnings, they weren't random. He was now tangled in a web far bigger than himself. Carla, his manager, pulled him aside during a frantic lunch rush. "Jake," she said, voice barely above a whisper. "This is serious. You're holding information that could bring her down. And if Vivian finds out you know, you're in danger." Jake felt the weight of it all, his job, his family, his life. Answering that phone call had thrust him into a ruthless game of secrets and lies. And now, he had to decide. Keep silent and stay safe. Or speak up and risk everything. Jake sat alone in the cramped apartment he shared with his sister, the city lights casting long shadows through the window. His mind raced, every word from that mysterious call echoing louder than before. His sister Mia looked up from her homework. "Jake, what's wrong?" she asked softly. He forced a smile but couldn't lie. "It's nothing, just work stuff." But it wasn't nothing. He thought about their mom, struggling in the hospital, bills piling up, the pressure crushing. Him every day. If he stayed quiet, he might keep his job, steady paychecks to keep the family afloat. But if he spoke up about Vivian, exposing the truth could mean losing everything. His job, his safety, maybe even his family's security. The weight of the decision crushed him. Could he risk becoming a target of one of the city's most powerful women, or was silence complicity? That night. Jake stared at his phone, the text still glowing on the screen. "We're watching." His fingers hovered over the keys. Speak out, and lose everything. Stay silent, and live with the secret. Jake's heart pounded. In that moment, the fight wasn't just about a job anymore. It was about who he wanted to be. The following evening at the Monarch felt different, tense, electric, like the calm before a storm. Jake moved through the dining room, each step heavier than the last. He knew Vivian was watching him, her icy gaze slicing through the dim light. Suddenly, the restaurant door swung open. 2 men in sharp suits entered, federal agents. Whispers erupted around the room as they approached Vivian's table. "Ms. Langford," one agent said, "you're under investigation for fraud and conspiracy. We have warrants for your offices and assets." Vivian's face tightened, but she remained composed. Jake's breath caught. All eyes turned toward him. The agents asked for witnesses, and a waiter came forward, someone who had overheard incriminating phone conversations, just like Jake had, but instead of stepping forward, Jake's hands clenched into fists. The weight of silence pressed down on him. Then Vivian turned to Jake. "You know more than you're saying," she whispered, deadly calm. Jake's heart thundered. Fear, anger, and a sudden surge of courage collided inside him. With shaking hands, he pulled out his phone. Messages, calls, everything. "I have proof," he said quietly, voice steadying. Gasps filled the room. Vivian's empire was crumbling before their eyes, but the fallout wasn't over. Later that night, Jake was called into the manager's office. His job was terminated. "Company policy," Carla said gently. "You've been a liability." Outside, the city lights blurred through the rain-soaked windows as Jake stepped out into the unknown. But he had spoken the truth, and sometimes that's the only thing that matters. Days passed like a blur for Jake. Without a job and with bills mounting, the pressure threatened to swallow him whole. But something inside him had changed. The news was everywhere. Vivian Langford's empire was unraveling, and Jake's courage was at the heart of it. Local media hailed him as a whistleblower, a symbol of standing up against corruption. Offers came in, from restaurants, from advocacy, groups, even from a major nonprofit fighting corporate fraud. Jake wasn't just a waiter anymore, he was a voice. One afternoon, as he sat with Mia and their mother in a small sunlit cafe, his phone buzzed again. It was an email, an invitation to speak at a city council event about workers' rights and corporate accountability. Jake smiled, feeling the weight of uncertainty lift just a little. He had risked everything for the truth, and now he was helping others find their voice too. His family's future was still fragile, but hope had found its way back. From the shadows of the monarch to the spotlight of change, Jake's story was proof that even the smallest acts of courage can topple the tallest empires. And sometimes, losing everything means gaining everything that truly matters. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to smash that thumbs up and hit subscribe for more unforgettable, emotional, and viral true stories. We want to hear from you. Drop a comment and tell us, where in the world are you watching from?